In pro wrestling, people talk about being the king of the thing, all right? They talk about taking a G, going all to one, and climaxing it. They're talking about tournaments in pro wrestling. But AAW has the tournament in pro wrestling. I'm talking about the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament, named in honor of our great founder and the historic history that is AAW Pro Wrestling. It is meat and potatoes, smash you in the mouth pro wrestling, and what better way to do it than with wins and losses? You win, you advance, and you go all the way to the top, and maybe even get yourself a shot at the AAW Heavyweight Championship. Yes, we're talking about that today on AAW Redefined. Let's get right into it. It is the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament coming up October 14th and 15th, live at the Logan Square Auditorium, streaming worldwide on highspots.tv. 16 competitors, and actually for the first time ever, our first female competitor in the Jim Lynam Tournament. Let's run down all the competitors that we have, some announced matches, and maybe try and predict who's going to win this whole thing. And maybe I get myself some icy stares backstage when we get to the show, right? The big announcement comes from Dragon Gate, an international superstar, one of the biggest stars to ever come out of Japanese pro wrestling. Yamato will be in action, and he will take on former NXT superstar Zachary Wentz. That match is confirmed. Some other matches confirmed for the first round include Schaff versus Richards, Davey Richards. Schaff is a big, mean man, bigger than a bus, all right, and meaner than a junkyard dog, taking on certifiably one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. It is a badass big man versus a technical buzzsaw of a human being. And then on top of it, Fred Yehi, the Savage Weight, a man who's like a combination of every mean, awful, gonna rip you from limb to limb wrestler. He has one sunglass over one eye because he wants to make you like have his laser beam shoot with the other one. Fred Yehi, the Savage Weight, taking on one of the best big men in all of professional wrestling, Calvin Tankman. That's right. That's a lot of action. Yamato versus Wentz, Schaff versus Richards, and Yehi versus Tankman. All of those matches confirmed for the first round, October 14th. And who could get eliminated, who could advance to the 15th, we don't know. But let's run down all of the other competitors that are in this big flurry of action here. I mentioned Yamato. We also have Masa Slamovich. She got into this tournament by going the distance with Impact World Wrestling Champion Josh Alexander, impressing him so much that he said, I'm going to give up my spot in the tournament for you. She becomes the first female competitor. Who's she going to take on? I don't know. Former WWE superstar Mike Bennett will also be in action. He recently did something really crazy and shook it all up. Maria Kanellis came out to ring with him and was his special weapon, giving him that motivation to get back on track, and he's back in it with the Lynam Tournament. Someone who's been floating around the world title picture in AAW for quite some time, a fan favorite, a true badass, a man who knows how to throw down a cold beer and throw down a punch as well, the one called Manders. Some may say that the crowd may be behind him more than maybe some other people in this tournament. I'm just saying. Just hear what I'm saying. The man who won the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament last year, the man who escalated himself to the world title, won it and ran with it for a majority of 2021 into 2022, Matt Fitchett, the gunslinger. He plans to get himself back on track and become a two-time Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament winner. That tournament final from last year, go seek it out on High Spots. It is incredible. One of the best tournament matches we've ever had. Davey Vega, someone that Fitchett is very familiar with. He is once again the Heritage Champion, and he's claiming that he's going to go all the way and win the Lynam Tournament. Maybe Fitchett and Vega meet each other in the tournament. That would be crazy. Two former tag team partners, besties in the world, collide, besties explode. It'll be bestie powers explode. That would be nuts. Schaff, as I mentioned, will be in the tournament. Calvin Tankman, Fred Yehi, they will be in action, along with that Japanese superstar, Yamato and Zachary Wentz. Let's talk about Rich Swann, former Impact World Champion. He will be in action in this tournament. Rich has been making fans feel really good, come out to the ring, having fun. But does fun turn over into a serious tone to go all the way in this tournament? This is a guy who has another gear. We've seen him do it as a world champion. Can he put himself back in that ranks? Representing the Bullet Club, a man who is truly the ace of AAW, Ace Austin, will be in this tournament. He's got a lot of attitude, got maybe a chip on his shoulder from all the things he's been doing overseas and in Impact. I think he could do some big things in the tournament as well. Let's talk about another new fan favorite, Gnarls Garvin. Big Beef Gnarls Garvin, coming out to Kid Rock, has truly endeared himself to the AAW faithful at Bourbon Street, at Logan Square Auditorium. This guy is over. As I've mentioned before, he is the reincarnation of Bam Bam Bigelow. Dante Leone, you've seen him all across the internet wrestling universe. He is in the highlight reels. He's a walking, living punk rock human highlight reel. I think he will do something impressive. I think he's a sleeper. He's a sleeper to do some impressive stuff in this tournament. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the wild card. Yes, the wild card. Certifiably one of the best luchador wrestlers in the United States, a man who has gone over and back and forth across the Mexican border and has truly become a great representative of Chicago on the international wrestling scale. A man who has brought AAW's flag everywhere around the world. He brings it back for the Jim Lynam Memorial Tournament. I'm talking about the base god himself. You can jump off the top rope, but he can take it. Gringo Loco. That is 16 amazing competitors, including, as I mentioned, the first time ever, a female competitor in the tournament with Masha Slamovich. Do not doubt her at all. She went the distance with Josh Alexander. Who is going to level up? Who is going to go up all of those tiers of the tournament and go all the way to the top? Plus, we have non-tournament matches. Josh Alexander will be a part of that weekend, October 14th and 15th. Absolutely great stuff. If you want to check out some of our past Jim Lynam Memorial tournaments, definitely go get the info at aawpro.com. Definitely go and subscribe to highspots.tv, the best pro wrestling in the world, not just the best independent pro wrestling in the world, is AAW. Pro Wrestling Redefined. Stay tuned. We got more coming up, special interviews right here on this podcast feed. So make sure you turn those notifications on to know when we drop new episodes just like this.